Thank you very much. Actually, I have been working on Palestinian and other school books, including Israeli ones, more specifically the attitude to the other and to peace in school books of Middle Eastern countries, including Iran, Tunisia, Egypt, Syria, Saudi Arabia. So I'm quite familiar with the issue. And I would like to talk about the situation of the Palestinian school books which are in use in UNRWA schools, namely grades 1 to 10. There are some ferocious materials in grade 11 and 12, but I'll concentrate on grades 1 to 10. I've done some research before, beginning in 2000, as I said, and I actually accompanied the process of school book publishing by the Palestinian Authority beginning in 2000 up to 2006, and then beginning in 2016, which is still going on. Actually, all the books until grade 10 have already been issued. What's still remaining is books for some of the books of grade 11 and all of the grade 12 books. Now, the new books of 2016-17 are worse. They're not better than the older one. They are worse in many or several aspects. First of all, the name of Israel is not used anymore. They used to have the name Israel in the books in many cases. Israel steals water, Israel kills Palestinian children, Israel does this and that, many accusations, over 30. Now it's Zionist occupation, not Israel anymore. In my opinion, it signals two things. First of all, the deepening of the non-recognition of the state of Israel by Palestinian educators. And worse than that, giving the impression that the Palestinians are standing not against a concrete entity named Israel, but against something mythical, some evil power named Zionism. So this is one change in the new school books. Another change is that they stopped building their narrative as they did in the former project. They are now in the business of indoctrination. It means that aspects of the conflict are inserted into many aspects of school studies. Chemistry, for example. Let's see. Yeah, they are talking about a solution of water and salt, which is used by the prisoners of war. They don't say prisoners, prisoners of war in Israeli jails in the hunger strike struggle. Physics or biology, everything you will find the conflict in there. Geometry. This is broken palm tree, and the student is supposed to calculate the angle over there, and the tree was broken by Israel. Okay? So this is one thing, another example. There is also in math, for example, there is a question. In the first Palestinian Intifada, such and such number of Palestinians were killed. In the second Intifada, another number. And how is it all together? So this is math. History. Prophet Muhammad was opposed by the inhabitants of his native city of Mecca. It reminds us of the conflict with the Zionists, of course, and the Spanish Reconquista in the 15th century, and the Roman conquest of Carthage also. They destroyed the city. It reminds us of the destruction of several cities in Palestine, and so on and so on and so on. So this is another thing. Another feature in the new Palestinian textbooks is that the return of the refugees is not to Israel. It's to liberated Palestine. It is said for the first time very clearly in 2 poems, or 1 poem and 1 story. Another feature is that they touch the other side, the Jews, Israelis, and I'll talk about it later. Let's move over to the 3 fundamentals of Palestinian education in UNRWA schools, actually. First one is delegitimization. No Israel on the map. Israel is a member state of UN, as far as I remember. No Israel, no Jews, no holy places, no Jewish holy places, no Jewish cities on the map. Nothing. Let's see some examples. No holy places. This is the Western Wall, and it's a Hayat al-Burak, and it says that it's exclusively Muslim. You can read it yourself. You can read it in Arabic. وهو حق خالص للمسلمين وحدهم. Okay, this is the holy places of the Jewish holy places in Jerusalem. No cities. You see Haifa, Acre, Nazareth, Nablus, Jaffa. No Tel Aviv, no Rishon LeZion, no Netanya, nothing. And if you find a Jewish city on the map, it's called by its former Arabic name. Eilat, for example, down there on the map is Rashash. Okay? Netanya is Khalid. Israel itself is called Palestine. The whole of the country is shown in one color. This is a political map of the Arab homeland, and it says Palestine. And there's another example, just to make it clearer, with the Palestinian flag over it. And it says over here, Palestine Arabiyatun Islamiyya. Palestine is Arab and Muslim. And there is, this is an assignment. I will color the map of my homeland with the colors of the Palestinian flag. And just to make it that the student might not make a mistake, they put the lines with the colors. And this is another more clearer map of Palestine. It says in English, Free Palestine, which means that Free Palestine means the extermination of the State of Israel, disappearance of the State of Israel. To make it clearer, you find an assignment here that the student is told to distinguish between the cities, no Jewish cities, of course, here, the cities that the Zionists conquered or occupied in 48, and those ones which they occupied in 67. By the way, the Ramle, for example, Safad, and other cities within proper Israel, or Israel in pre-67 borders, are described as Palestinian occupied cities in Palestine. And this is another example, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Palestine, states of the Levant. Jerusalem was built by the Arabs several thousand years ago, and it's holy for Muslims and Christians. No Jewish connection to its past, history, nothing. Coins. Here you can see that the Hebrew inscription is kept on the coin, but here it's erased. The Hebrew inscription is erased. It's a coin of mandatory Palestine in 1927. I have it with me in my pocket. Those who are interested can see it live. So much for the legitimization. Demonization. Jews are demonized not only in the context of the conflict, but rather as rivals of Prophet Muhammad in Arabia. And there is a video to be shown to the students. Let us see a video about the Jews' attempt to kill Muhammad. Okay? So Jews wanted to kill Muhammad. Another thing that the Jews act to sweep and remove the graves of Prophet's companions, the Muhammad companions. Demonizations, this is a poem. How many? Okay. Devil's AIDS, okay? Killing children. demolishing houses, trying to destroy the mosque on Temple Mount. And this is a math which I told you, the math question about the Intifada casualties. Now let's turn to war indoctrination. This is the national anthem of the Palestinian Authority, which talks with much violence about return, about revenge, and so on and so forth. And here is another poem with the youth movements, members of the Fatah youth movement, and it says specifically, we have carried the ember of the revolution. The revolution is Fatah activity, which started in 1965, to Haifa and Jaffa, okay? And this is for grade 1, how the struggle for liberation is depicted to them. And so on. And the struggle for liberation is given a very strong religious color. I am a Muslim, I will sacrifice in order to liberate the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And of course, jihad we have here. And jihad is considered the peak of Islam, martyrdom. And the return, as I said, we are returning to Palestine. سنعود لنرفع علم فلسطين. So we'll return to raise the Palestinian flag. And there's another, I will return and I will reclaim it, the homeland, as a sovereign homeland. Not Israel, Palestine. Terror is part of it. You can see Dalal al-Mughrabi, who headed terroristic action against an Israeli civilian bus on the coastal highway in 1978. It's here, there are full 4 pages and so on. What to do with the Jews? This is also a new element in the new books. I shall remove the usurper, namely Israel. This is a code name for Israel, Al-Ghasib, from my country, and shall exterminate the foreigners' scattered remnants. And this is how they talk about the casualties of an Israeli civilian bus in near Psagot, in the West Bank, Judea, and it's a barbecue party, actually. So this is it. And UNRWA teaches it all. In my opinion, UNRWA should cease using these books, and if not, quit education. UNRWA, there are things that UNRWA should not teach, must not teach, and these are part of them. Thank you very much.